Let's get started. Welcome to 5 simple steps to reignite the spark in your long-term marriage. Some tips for getting the most out of this masterclass today is I invite you to listen to everything that I teach through the lens of your own relationship. I'll be sharing a lot of really valuable information today. And if you want more help, I'll share where you can find it. Before we get to that, I want to be transparent because I love transparency. And I love hosting these. I love hosting masterclasses and retreats and programs and experiences. And my intention is that you'll gain a lot of valuable information and feel inspired to take action. It's really easy to come to a one time thing, feel inspired, and then go back to your previous patterns. I'm really committed to supporting you if you want to be supported and if you want to be supported by me. So throughout this masterclass, I will be inviting you into the next step, which is a free call with me. You all, if you open your emails, have already seen. So I'll be referencing that throughout. That's the only invitation. Well, I don't know. I might make more invitations, but that's the main invitation of the evening is to get on that free call with me. All right, so let's make sure you're in the right place. This is for married women or women in long-term committed relationships who want to reignite the spark, even if they felt like roommates for decades, or for those who want to elevate their existing spark, making it bigger and brighter. So some of us, the spark, it's just like we haven't felt that spark in a long time. And some of us are like, wow, the spark is there, but can it be better? Yes, it can be better. And I want that. So you're in the right place if you fit into either of those categories. So in the next 45 minutes, more like 30, I'm going to be teaching you everything I've learned over the past 7 years so that you don't have to make the same heartbreaking and painful mistakes that I have. I will teach you how to set up your relationship so that you can have a deeper connection inside and outside of the bedroom, even if you've been together for decades. Know how to experience a galaxy of orgasms, even if you've never had an orgasm, or if your orgasms are barely there, and create an exciting sex life no matter your age or length of relationship. So, my promise to you is a step by step process to feel sexy, find your turn on, and reignite the spark with your husband. So, I'm going to ask you, do any of these sound like you? Do you ever lie in bed beside your partner at night and feel lonely? Do you feel more like roommates than lovers? And do you fear that you'll never experience that giddy, fun passion again? Do you feel broken, like there's something wrong with you for not having or enjoying sex or having orgasms? Do you feel shame about your body and you worry how you look during sex? Do you fear that your partner doesn't find you sexy anymore? Being married myself, I really understand the undercurrent of fear that comes up in relationships. And as hard as it can be to admit, I'm going to ask you, are you secretly terrified that your marriage is doomed? Or are you afraid that having it all doesn't exist? Therefore, asking for more could result in losing it all. But is the fear is real, but it's not the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't made the shifts yet. So I'm going to explain what those are, but first, there's good news. So those of you that might be feeling a little fucked up, there's good news. This is what's possible once you make these shifts. You'll go from feeling painful and emotional isolation to feeling free to communicate and express yourself how you want. You'll go from operating as roommates or business partners to playing like lovers. You'll go from feeling lonely because you can't talk to him about how you're feeling to feeling connected and having a much more present conversation. You'll go from being stressed because you're comparing your partner to your ex to being relaxed because you feel totally seen and heard by your partner. And you'll go from having meh or boring or unsatisfying sex to having multiple orgasms that have you looking forward to Saturday night. So the 5 shifts will give you clarity on what you want in sex, help you move from roommates to lovers, have you feeling less alone and more connected to your husband, help you reignite the passion, joy, and spark, support you in taking action because you have the power to transform your sex life with the right skills and tools. So, what we're going to look at today is the 5 shifts you need to make in order to transform your sex life. As you can imagine, there's a lot of content in this area or in these areas, but we're going to go over the main points today so that you can take immediate action. And I just want to make sure to highlight that having your relationship feel good also impacts your entire life. It has you feeling confident and powerful. It supports you in improving friendships, helps you in having a better diet and sleeping habits, and the ability to be more present with your children. So, for those of you that don't know me, hello, I'm Carly Joe. I am a wife. I've been married for 5 years. We've been together for 8. I'm obsessed with taking care of my dog and my garden, but my biggest passion is writing, speaking, and helping women have orgasmic marriages. I believe that every woman, no matter her age or length of marriage, is capable of having soft, sensual, loving, passion-filled sex and orgasms that flow like water. I believe in order to feel your inner spark, you need to have an empowering relationship with your body and sexuality outside of your relationship. I've helped hundreds of women discover their pleasure, love their bodies, and love their sex lives, and fall deeper in love with their husbands. So I want to share my story with you all. So here I was meeting the love of my life. It was a whirlwind romance that had so many adventures, laughs, and fairy tale like romances. Our hearts were so full, we couldn't believe it got to feel this good. Not only were we in love with one another, but we became best friends. I had never met someone who loved all of me, especially my flaws. But where we were abundant in love, we lacked in the bedroom. How could I have met the love of my life, the person I had been searching for, and have this problem? I am so sad. I'm questioning if it's some sign from the universe that we aren't the right fit. I feel scared, confused, and alone. Alone because I have no one to talk to. None of my friends are sharing that they have struggles. The movies and the television shows that I'm watching, they show women having the most exquisite pleasure when I mostly feel pain. Instead of experiencing pleasure or an orgasm, I often felt a burning sensation during sex. Despite the pain, though, I continue to have sex because I love him and I want to feel the closeness that one can only feel in sex. So I suffer in silence. I don't want to admit that there's a problem. I don't want to have him feel bad. And I don't want to face the potential possibility of us having to break up. I was under the impression, I don't know if any of you relate to this, that once you meet the love of your life, that it just all works out. The sex is just fireworks and rainbows. You just know what to do and how to satisfy one another. But I was wrong. I knew something had to be different and I was going to figure it out, and I did. Before, I felt detached and lonely in my relationship, and now I feel like we are teammates working together to cross the finish line. Before, I felt shy and insecure about what I wanted in sex, and now I feel confident. Before we were having sex that was fine, but not fulfilling. Now we explore all types of sex, including kinky. Before I had painful and orgasmless sex. Now sex feels like iced tea on a hot day. And my orgasms feel like volcanoes erupting. And I brag that I am multi-orgasmic. If you've never heard my shingasm story. So before I was suffering in silence and is scared of losing Jose, my husband, and now I feel more in love than ever. So how did I do it? How did I go from feeling sad, alone, and confused to having an exciting sex life and feeling deeper in love 8 years later? I'm going to show you the 5 things that I did that took us from 2 people cohabitating to making out like teenagers and feeling that giddiness and excitement of when we first met. I was thinking about this earlier and how, remember when you first met your partner, uh, where you just would like stay up all night talking and laughing and connecting and just like that feeling. Like who says we can't have that 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years later? All right, so let's get to the shifts. The first shift is selfish is selfless. So, how many times have you thought, I should just be grateful for everything that I have, right? I've got the house, the kids, the career, the partner. I should just be happy. Or have you thought it's self indulgent to put myself first or to ask more for more than I already have? These are really outdated beliefs and they're bullshit. And here's why. I have seen firsthand that when you put yourself first, doing the things that bring you joy and pleasure, everything and everyone in your life benefits. Why? Because when you do the things that support you in filling up your own cup, you're more likely to feel calm and relaxed, putting you in a better mood and allowing you to experience less stress and less anxiety, which leads to better health. What fills your cup matters. This is the foundation of everything that I share with you. And that's precisely what I'll show you how to do in our one-to-one path forward call. So every woman, no matter her age or length of marriage, is capable of learning how to have orgasmic sex, sex that feels good, sex that nourishes you, right? So instead of sex feeling like a chore and I'd rather just go to sleep because I don't want to lose sleep over this, to this sex is so nourishing that I slept the best I have slept in months, right? That's what I mean by orgasmic sex. This is something you need to be taught. This is something to be learned. And I invite you to stop expecting your partner to take action or figure it out. Because once you take responsibility for your pleasure, a whole new world filled with more passion, more sense of self-worth and confidence, better, more fulfilling time spent with your friends and family opens up for you. Because you deserve to feel sexy and have a release after a busy day caring for everyone else. Having a step-by-step plan for figuring that out, a supportive accountability group that's cheering you on and giving you strategies is exactly how you will get there. To meet Jessica, we met through a former client. We jumped on a 20-minute path forward call where Jessica shared how uncomfortable she was with self-care. As a mother, Jessica believed that taking time for herself and her pleasure was bad, wrong, and selfish. Those are her words. This led her to feel irritable, overextended, and burnt out, which impacted her relationship with her daughter, her husband, and their sex life. Through working together, Jessica overcame her belief that caring for herself was selfish and soon discovered its benefits for her family. These included feeling more relaxed, at ease, and more present while playing with her daughter, showing up in a more loving and playful and turned on way with her husband, and focusing on her self care led to her squirting for the first time. Added benefit. That's the first shift. And now we're going to go into the second, which is savoring sensations. Yes. Ooh, this one gives me tingles. Okay, so there is a world that opens up when you learn how to tune into your micro sensations. We perceive everything through the five senses. So I guarantee you, in the last 26 minutes of being on this call, there are sensations going through your body. But how often do we slow down and let ourselves feel them? Especially when they're feelings of joy or pleasure. I know for me, I spent a lifetime repressing my joy because I had it that it was inappropriate for me to be in my joy. It's inappropriate for me to be in my little girl curiosity and pleasure. So we're going to take a trip through the savoring sensations, and I'm going to give you some examples and just listen to the words and just notice what happens in your body, what you feel, and what you experience. Enter the palace of pleasure when you can feel the light caress of an ostrich feather on the bottoms of your toes. Just the right dose of lavender and champagne in your bubble bath. Feeling the bubbles tickling your skin. The slight caress of velvet as foreplay. Experiencing heightened sensations such as tingles, pulsations, warmth, has the ability to transform you out of your head and into your body, which can feel like a luxurious spa day. Being in your body can feel like a luxurious spa day. I know that for many of you, because it's true for me, that it hasn't always felt good to be in my body, which is why I focus a lot in my programs on savoring sensations, because we get to feel good. This beautiful body of ours is a vessel for pleasure. I wasn't sure how I was going to end that sentence. For pleasure. Savoring your sensations is the key to reigniting your spark. When I speak to women, one of the things I often hear is they want to feel that spark that they once felt. You can also call it aliveness. You can call it turn on. You can call it joy. Even the word spark, does that ignite something in your body? Does that have a feeling, a sensation in your body? Practice and master the 6 techniques of savoring sensations over the course of 4 months to create wild adventures in the bedroom, and learn through the mechanisms that I teach so that you can have a rainbow of orgasms, including full body, clitoral, vaginal, cervical, energetic, laughgasms, crygasms, angergasms, shingasms, and many, many more. Jen is a perfect example of this. We met at a weekend immersion. She and I jumped on a free 20-minute path forward call. Jen was really battling between her mind and her body, suffering from anxiety, which led to her not wanting to be in her body. She actually came into my program saying that she was the most afraid of the embodiment calls, being led through the embodiment calls. Through working together, Jen went from being unable to stay present and feel pleasure in her body to no longer being afraid to be in her body, which is huge. And is fully experiencing and enjoying a range of sensations that she didn't even know was possible to feel. This results in her and her husband, which is pictured here, having more sex. She is craving sex more often than she has ever craved before. This new sense of pleasure she is experiencing creates constant flirting. Who wants to flirt with their partner again? I'm like, I want you to flirt with me more often. I want to flirt. I used to be so good at flirting. Now I'm like super awkward with others. Okay. Okay. So back to her. This creates constant flirting, touching, and living in the foreplay with her husband. So foreplay is no longer this thing that's like a few minutes before penetration. They are living in the foreplay. I want your marriages to all be one big foreplay. I want your body to be one big clit. That's how much sensation is possible. And we're not even done. Jen also discovered new ways and new positions to orgasm. So that is shift number 2. And now we're going to move into shift number 3. This shift I call the magic trick. This is where what I am most known for is this one. And I call it the self-seductress apprenticeship. What does that mean? Well, the self-seductress knows what she wants and is able to communicate it effectively with her partner. She lights her own spark, and instead of expecting her partner to ignite it, right? So instead of coming to her partner with a dead battery and being like, here, you figure out how to turn on my engine, she's like, I'm already turned on. Come and get it. Which is so much harder. Like, I'm dead. Come turn me on. It's like, are you ready? Right? She feels sexy, confident, and in love with herself. She initiates sex from desire, not obligation. Not, oh man, we haven't had it in a while. I guess we should, versus, I am so turned on. I need it right now. She knows that her pleasure matters. Yes. Okay, so what the self-seductress does not, she does not rely on her husband to take action. She does not believe that the only way she'll get what she wants is by finding another guy. She does not contort her body into some uncomfortable pretzel position because, Cosmo told her it would solve all of her problems. She doesn't rely on vibrators to orgasm. And she doesn't have to fantasize about a past lover to experience pleasure. So don't get me wrong, fantasizing can be fun and healthy. It can be a fun and healthy way to experience pleasure. I love fantasizing, big fantasizer. What I'm talking about is when we rely on it or we obsess over the idea that that lover is the only way. Most of us, if I had to take a poll, most of us have one lover in our mind that's like, oh my God, I had epic orgasms with him. or sex was so much better with him, that we get obsessed with like, oh, it's him, it was him, right? These strategies are all bullshit, and they leave you feeling disempowered and even more disconnected to yourself and your partner. So you can do all of this stuff and hope it works. You can continue to listen to podcasts, read books, right? Or you can learn the intricacies to becoming a connoisseur of self seduction. The self seductress apprenticeship is about becoming a sommelier who knows how to describe different wines, but you can describe the many different colors of your orgasmic rainbow, all of your micro sensations. So here are the top 3 steps for becoming your greatest seductress. 1, learn how to design an experiential solo journey that takes you to the promised land. Master a communication technique that will excite your partner and connect you in a way that you can share the treasures of your sexual discoveries. Master a communication technique that will Oh, wait, did I already say that one? My bad, I already said that one. Third, discover divine pleasure practices that will have you making out like teenagers, having sex in unexpected places, like having sex in the driveway because you can't wait to get inside, and having celebratory dances of joy. I'll give this one a second if you want to screenshot this. I met Melody at an event. We hopped on a free 20-minute path forward call where Melody felt broken. She came to me distraught, crying, because she couldn't orgasm without her vibrator. Through a solo journey, Melody discovered a new way that she liked to be touched. She also learned that her pathway to pleasure was so different and unique than she had ever learned or heard about. So it was about her having permission for it's like the get off, having permission for her pathway to pleasure. So being able to share this with her partner led to her first orgasm in sex without using her vibrator. It was huge for her. She also she messages me a lot. And she's always telling me, she's like, oh my God, this is, and she actually just recently, since I've put this together, messaged me, and she's now having penetrative orgasms, which was her really big thing that she really wanted in Queen of Pleasure. Yay, Melody. Okay, so those were the first 3 shifts. We have 2 more. And these next 2, I call them like the cheat codes, right? To making all of this a reality. So there's this misconception that talking about sex is awkward, which often gets in the way of couples having the deep connected intimacy that they're really craving. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can have communication that feels good and inviting for everyone. By learning how to talk about sex with me and other women in a group program is going to give you support in talking about sex with him. Yes, we're talking about verbal penetration. It's a very fun and playful technique I developed after working with hundreds of couples that essentially allows your partner to enter you verbally before there's any physical touch. It's where your partner penetrates your deepest world through language before they even touch you. Which, by the way, we all have different ways that we give and receive verbal penetration. We all have different ways that we want to receive right? So we're not just talking about like talking dirty. Some of us want that. I would much rather hear from my husband instead of like talking dirty. It's like I love when he's like, "Wow, you're so open." Or he tells me how soft I am. Soft meaning like not like soft skin, but like melty, right? You, on the other hand, might want something you might wanna be called a dirty slut. I also have that one, right? But it's understanding how we want to how we want to be communicated to, and then learning that about your partner as well, right? Through a series of techniques, you're gonna learn to talk in a way that opens up your most vulnerable parts in a safe way, allowing you to explore or allowing your partner to explore inside of you and understand your world, which will light you up and make your body ache with pleasure. I teach you exactly how to do that, and we workshop it so that you don't have to go in and face plant. You've got it down and you know exactly how to do it. How amazing does that sound? Meet Prudence. Prudence and I met at an event, and on our free 20-minute path forward call, Prudence shared that her sex life with her husband of 12 years had become routine and that she was really struggling to orgasm. She wasn't sure how to communicate this or share what she wanted in bed. Through working together, Prudence learned the right communication tools that made it more comfortable and easy for both her and her partner to know and ask for what they wanted. Because of this, their boring routine went out the window and replaced with more playful and fun sex. With 3 kids and 2 busy work schedules, they really needed their intimacy to be easy and fun, which it now is. Yay, Prudence. Yay. All right. The fifth and final shift. This one, they're all so important. I'm like, but this one has had, well, they all, but okay, this one's amazing. So, all of the above is possible if and only if you surround yourself with community, other women who are going through the same thing, who you can see yourself in, so you can feel less alone and more understood. This is why it's important to build your community. Sometimes we just need to fall apart, right? So when you're feeling hopeless and frustrated and like nothing is going to work out, we need our community to catch us. We need our community to let us lean on and remind us of our mission to reignite the spark. All of this is possible if you choose to invest in your marriage. Invest in one of the most important relationships of your life. Don't let your marriage be something that goes on year after year as is, without any change, without any juice, just drying up, being neglected, collecting dust like an untouched decorative piece in your home. I know you all have a piece in your home that you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get to that. Choose to invest in your relationship. And the third possible if, give mentorship a chance. Someone who has walked the path that you want to walk can create more results than what you're currently doing. I highly suggest you invest in someone who has the sex life you want. My invitation for you, regardless if it's today or tomorrow with me or someone else, get help. There is no shame in receiving support. Meet Beth. I want you to hear from her because she really struggled to take the leap in investing in herself. She was also really concerned about the group aspect. She was nervous that being with other women that she would get judged. The other women would not understand her, they wouldn't have the same problems as her. and that they would judge her. She thought her struggles were so different from everyone else's. But she quickly discovered the power that comes from investing in herself. Just after a few weeks, she felt more confident and free in her expression. She said the best part of the program was the sisterhood she fostered. She had never experienced feeling so seen, loved, and backed by other women. In fact, she called them her biggest cheerleaders. She's still very connected to those women today. Beth now shares that this investment was the best decision she ever made. So before we conclude this, I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes and picture a day when you're lying in bed with your partner. You're feeling grounded, present, and aroused. You share with your partner exactly what you want and need, and your partner agrees with excitement. You're fully in your body, pleasure, and feeling connected to your partner in every way. You are 20 minutes away from creating that reality. Take a deep breath, let that in. And you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. So today I promised a step-by-step process to feel sexy, find your turn on, and reignite the spark with your partner. So we're going to do a quick recap. I'll share how to, if you want more, how to get it, and then we'll go into a Q&A. So the first shift, selfish is selfless. Do this for you and no one else. Make filling up your cup a priority and watch your life fill with joy. 2, savoring sensations. Hold on. Create wild adventures in the bedroom by practicing the 6 techniques of savoring sensations. 3, the self-seductress. Build your craft as a self-seductress. 4, verbal penetration. Master communication technique that not only excites your partner, but also deepens your connection. And 5, get started with community, invest in your marriage, and give mentorship a chance. Belong to a community of like-minded women. So now you have a choice. Hopefully this gave you a lot to think about and also gave you a sense of what's possible, right? So the invitation is to connect with a mentor, build a community that takes you past your current limitations, a community and a mentor that shows you your blind spots and holds you accountable to your best self. Because the truth is you can't always be on point. These people will help support you in consistently creating results. And now, the invitation to schedule a free 20-minute path forward call. Like I said in the beginning, it's easy to come to a one-time thing, feel inspired, and then go back to your previous pattern of lacking connection, feeling alone, or like roommates. I'm really invested in you feeling supported with moving forward towards what you want in your relationship. So I'm offering a free one-to-one path forward call, and it's an opportunity to share what you got from the masterclass. I would also love your feedback, even if you just join it to give me your feedback on this. I would love that. And we're going to work on your vision, right? You can only create what you know you want, which is really important. So we'll create a vision for your relationship on that call. So carlyjoe.com/path to schedule that. And now I'm going to screenshot that if you want. You'll also get a ton of emails reminding you to do it. And I'm going to stop sharing now.